Testing. 1, 2, 3. Who? Oh, who is this? God, you supposed to be so smart and you don't even know that. Hi, everybody. Happy Saturday. I was about to say happy Friday. Let me see. There I go. Yeah. How everybody doing? Honey, I'm in portrait because I don't do lives on Saturday. The only time I did live was with Steve and we was in portrait too. Let me put this up here. And the reason why I'm doing a live because I have a video premiering at 9 and I need to promote it. And also, it's some breaking news and it's easier for me to record live and that way I could just chop it up and upload it on my other channels. That's another reason why. I pre-record original content, but basic content, I'd rather just do a live and chop it up. So that's why I'm doing a live because I need this content to go up on my other channel. And I need to move this traffic to my premiere at 9 p.m. So I hope everybody's having a wonderful Saturday. What is it? College football Saturday? Yes. But we ain't here to talk about that, honey. We are here to talk about Trump, Antifa, ICE, illegal migrants, Serena Williams, honey, because she was traumatized when she came across a cotton plant in her luxury 5-star hotel. And Megyn Kelly, honey, she is with this shit. She came for Serena, honey, and had to check her privilege, right? Check her black privilege. We do have black privilege. Black people, we do have a black privilege in 2025. Our privilege is not that we are superior over anyone else. Our privilege is that we are in a better position than our ancestors. So we do have black privilege, but I record that on another and a pre-record. So anyway, let's get into it, honey. Guys, please like and share. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. Hi, Mo. How are you? Hi, Force. How are you? Hi, EW. Hi, Godspeed. What was the other one? Hi, Travaris. Hello, Louise. Hi. Hi, Arjun. Mo says, I thought Serena was traumatized when she woke up and realized she married a white. No, honey. That made her sane. She probably was shocked when she realized, oh my God, not only did I marry a white man, because it would have been traumatized if she woke up and he was white and broke. But he's white and wealthy. He's the double W's. White, wealthy. So you're not traumatized because of that. You're happy when he's white and wealthy. The 2 W's. Yeah. But anyway, let's get into the breaking news. Do I want to show it this way? I could do it this way. Yeah, so let's get into breaking news, honey. We got to talk about Trump. He's sending the troops into Portland. He ain't playing.
Moments ago, President Trump sending troops to Portland. He made the announcement on Truth Social, and it read in part at the request of Secretary of Homeland Security Kristi Noem. I am directing Secretary of War Pete Hegseth to provide all necessary troops to protect war-ravaged Portland. Now, I remember this well. I remember 2020. There's a lot of violence in Portland. There was a courthouse that folks tried to set on fire, and President Trump deployed federal law enforcement there. I was his press secretary at the time. Here's what I said.
By any objective standard, the violence, chaos, and anarchy in Portland is unacceptable. Yet Democrats continue to put politics above peace while this president seeks to restore law and order.
Now, someone who was there with me in the White House at that time was Katie Miller. She's the host of the Katie Miller podcast. She has a long track record in the Trump administration. Katie, you and I were there in the summer of 2020. We remember how dangerous Portland got And they still have crime problems today. What do you make of the president's action?
You know, the greatest difference between President Trump's first term and a second term is that we're not waiting for there to be set fires in Portland. As President Trump said in 2020, it's an anarchist jurisdiction. So what do you do with an anarchist jurisdiction? You deploy as many troops as possible. You gain control quickly, and you say, we are coming for you, and we will not allow the riots in the street like we did in the summer of 2020. This is President Trump's country, and he has promised to make sure that every American feels safe, and that includes our brave law enforcement, who's been the subject to too many violent attacks, whether that be what happened this week or weeks before that. It is not acceptable to attack law enforcement who are just carrying out the duty that Congress has charged them with. And President Trump has said no more. And by doing this action today, he's not waiting for it to get worse. He is going to protect our brave men and women who serve our country.
Katie, I'm really glad that you made that the focus, the brave men and women, because at that time in Portland back in 2020, I remember vividly when protesters tried to light a courthouse on fire, and there was federal law enforcement in and around this. And President Trump does have the authority to deploy National Guard to federal property to protect federal assets. And Katie, I just saw yesterday ICE agents who were followed, people giving out their address, the attacks on ICE facilities. You worked at DHS. Tell us what you know about ICE agents, DHS officials, these folks who put it all on the line and incur what you're looking at, this kind of violence.
Gavin Newsom is the first one who's demonized our great ICE law enforcement officers who put their lives on the line every single day to do the job that, again, Congress has charged them to do. And by President Trump taking this action today and saying we are not going to wait for it to be worse. And what happened in 2020 is, right, law enforcement served as crowd control measures. Yes, they made over 1,000 arrests back in 2020. But by doing this action today, he's saying that we're not going to wait. We're going to come quickly and come hard. And by doing that, you're protecting the ICE law enforcement in the field, because if you are greenlighting even a little bit of an ounce of attack against them, you don't know what's going to happen next. I mean, maybe we do, and we saw that what happened with our friend Charlie Kirk. But when you take quick and swift action, you are going to stand up for all men and women who today are on the streets arresting illegal aliens and ensuring their deportation, which is exactly what President Trump said he was going to do, is remove every illegal alien present in this country. And who's doing that? That is ICE. And we must all stand together with the people who are serving our great country.
Katie, I only have a few moments here, but I love listening to the Katie Miller podcast because I know you as a friend, and it's really cool because I feel like I'm getting to know the new Trump administration as a friend. I saw your conversation with J.D. Vance. You asked some really fun questions. What is the most exciting thing you've learned about a Trump administration official?
The greatest thing I really learned is how friendly they are with one another, which is such a change from the first administration, is that this time President Trump has truly picked a cabinet who enjoys hanging out with each other, whether that be on Air Force One or at dinners or on girls' nights together, because President Trump has selected such a diverse cabinet that includes more women than ever before.
Yeah, it's really fun.
Well, let me pause it right there, because I think that he has a lot of women in his cabinet, but they're all white. But it may not have been intentional, because maybe no black woman didn't apply. See, that's the thing. People are, giving Trump a hard time because they're saying, oh, there's no black people in his administration. But has any black person applied? Has any black person supported him during his campaign? Because a lot of times people are appointed positions when you support a candidate during a campaign. So if you're not there supporting Trump, or if you were not supporting him in his campaign and you're black, then he's not going to hire you. It's mainly white men and white women, which is why, his administration is a lot of women, but it's a lot of white women. However, they all have a look, because you look at the press secretary, Carolyn Levetts or whatever, she's a blonde. The new U.S. attorney is a blonde. Attorney General Pam Bondi, a blonde. He loves blondes. His wife, brunette, blonde, it depends on how she want to color her hair. But he liked the blonde look. Yeah. Who you talking to? Girl, please stop. Who tap dancing? Are you talking to me, my sister's keeper? Honey, it's Saturday. We are very casual tonight. We are very casual. So are you talking to me, or are you just talking to the video? But let me finish playing it so I can get to the other thing.
watch. Like my friend Caroline Levitt and Margot, they're all great friends, truly, really, and they're doing a great job. Katie Miller, thank you.
I'm Steve Doocy.
I'm Brian Kilmer.
Okay, so that's that. Let me share this, right? So I'm trying to figure out, what is Antifa? Antifa is a left-wing anti-fascist and anti-racist political movement. It is sometimes described as a highly decentralized array of autonomous groups in the United States. They look like they're Nazis, like the colors, they're always covering their faces. The English word for Antifa is a loan word from the German Antifa, where it is a shortened form of the word anti-fascist, something meaning anti-fascist, and a nickname of the anti-fascist Action. I don't know. I can't speak German. However, I'm glad Trump is sending troops to Portland, and I'm glad that he listed Antifa and BLM as a terrorist group. Now, is Portland the headquarters for Antifa? Because I'm getting that vibe, right? So it says President Donald Trump directed the deployment of U.S. troops. Actually, let me make this bigger. Of U.S. troops to Portland Immigration and Customs Enforcement Center and other facilities nationwide on September 27, 2027. That was today, following requests from federal officials citing assaults on agents and property damage during demonstrations since June. Armed Department of Homeland Security vehicles arrived in Portland this evening. Oh, honey, they're already there. He is not playing. With no immediate clashes reported, Oregon Governor Tina Kotek and Portland Mayor Keith Wilson rejected the move. Too bad, because he has every right to deploy federal National Guards, stating the city faces no insurrection or widespread violence as local homicide rates dropped 51% in 2025. Why is it every time Trump want to send National Guards into these liberal blue cities, they always say, well, we don't need you to come because crime dropped? That's their first thing. Crime dropped 51%. And it's always that same number, 51%, 50%. Like, come on. That's not a coincidence. That's intentional, because they're intentionally lying. So this is the National Guard.
Yep.
And Pam Bondi, honey, she had to make her statement. See, I told you, blonde. He likes blonde.
We're witnessing a new era of political violence. Assassins have tried to murder President Trump twice and tried to kill Supreme Court Justice Kavanaugh. In Minnesota, legislators and even children attending Mass were gunned down in cold blood in 2 separate incidents. And an assassin targeted and murdered our friend Charlie Kirk. A sniper shot 3 people at a Texas ICE facility, and now more than 200 violent rioters were at a Chicago ICE facility chanting, "Arrest ICE, shoot ICE." At least one had a gun. We've seen this before. We saw it in Portland and with the LA riots. These are not peaceful protests. These are coordinated attacks by radical extremists, and they end now. Anyone who threatens or assaults our federal officers will be arrested and charged federally, not in some liberal state court. Same goes for anyone who's funding and aiding these extremists. You will be dismantled brick by brick. We are taking our country back. Make America safe again.
Okay. She was serious, honey. Eric, you're right. Their downtown is in shambles since 2020. Yes, that is true. Because I heard Portland is still a hot mess. They're still a hot mess, but crime is supposed to be down 51%, and yeah, Mo, dropped 51% from 500 to 449%. Exactly. See, people like to twist numbers. Let's see. What is this? ICE facility in Portland that Trump claims under siege. Okay. Honey, fix that goddamn muffler. So JD Vance posted Trump's Truth Social post at the request of Secretary of Homeland Security Kristi Noem. I am directing Secretary of War Pete Hegseth to provide all necessary troops to protect war-ravaged Portland and any of our ICE facilities under siege from attack by Antifa and other domestic terrorists. I am also authorizing full force if necessary. Thank you for your attention to this matter. I stand by Trump with this because a lot of ICE officers have been attacked, shot at. Yes, it's dangerous. It's violent, and it's a lot of protests. Okay, you have a right to protest, but you do not have the right to attack law enforcement officers. Sorry. So yeah, and apparently this is one of the scenes of the National Guards during that Antifa takedown. I don't know how long ago that was. Who is this? Okay, so this is the Democrat governor of Oregon tells Trump to stand down. Honey, he's already there. It's too late.
Me and the group of elected leaders and community leaders behind me, we are in the central city of Portland, Oregon, and it is a beautiful day, and we are very happy to be here speaking with you today. In my conversations directly with President Trump and Secretary Noem, I have been abundantly clear with them that Portland and the state of Oregon believe in the rule of law, and we can manage our own local public safety needs. There is no insurrection, there is no threat to national security, and there is no need for military troops in our major city. Military service members should be dedicated to real emergencies. The members of the Oregon National Guard, their mission is to stand up and protect Oregonians, and they will do that every day, but they are not needed in the city. They are not needed here.
But they're there already. That's their governor. And if you notice, if you look at the city of Boston, listen, I'm not saying these people don't know how to do their job, because they know how to do paperwork. They're good at doing paperwork. But when it comes to leading with a hard fist because crime is increasing, they're weak. They don't know what to do. Somebody says, is that a man or a woman? Well, that person may be non-binary, or she may be a lesbian. We don't know. Does it matter? She's just as bad as Mayor Brandon Johnson. Listen, he's putting every sanctuary city on notice. He's coming to every sanctuary city. I want to know, when is he going to land in Chicago? When is he going to land in Baltimore? When is he going to land in North New Jersey? When is he going to land in New York? Oh, honey, you know what's going to happen. Because Mayor Eric Adams, he's not going to win re-election unless it's an October surprise, right? But other than that, he's not going to win. If Mandingo or Mandandy, whatever his name is, if he wins, Trump, in January of 2026, he's going to send the National Guards into New York City. And I'm here for it. Yes, he is. He ain't going to send them down because Mayor Eric Adams is there. But as soon as Mayor Eric Adams is voted out, and it could be Cuomo, even if Cuomo is the mayor of New York, Trump is going to send the National Guards to New York City under the new mayor administration. Yes, he is. But the National Guards is coming to a city near you very soon. Yes. Now, I want to get to this. Who is this tether? And he is a tether. He is a tether. What were they thinking in Iowa? What were they thinking in Iowa? Right? So apparently, the board of Des Moines Public Schools hired an illegal. Yeah. From Ghana or Guyana, one of them. But he's a tether, never had his papers, and now his ass is arrested, as he should be. There you go. Yeah. ICE got him. ICE got him. He's going to be deported back home.
Des Moines Schools superintendent arrested by ICE. ICE announcing Friday that Ian Andre Roberts is, quote, a criminal illegal alien from Ghana in possession of a loaded handgun, $3,000 in cash, and a fixed blade hunting knife. At the time of his arrest, Roberts was working as the superintendent of Des Moines Public Schools, despite being an illegal alien with a final order of removal and no work authorization. Roberts has existing weapons possession charges from February 5th, 2020, and was given a final order of removal by an immigration judge in May of 2024. Absolutely stunning. Former acting DHS Secretary Chad Wolf joins me now. You know, Chad, you and I worked together when I was in the White House. Yeah. It is shocking to me that someone in charge of our school district, the largest school district in Iowa, had a final removal order. How does that happen? I don't think it would have happened under your tenure.
Well, it's a great question. Obviously, the school district did not do their due diligence. He has a criminal record as well. So clearly they didn't do any type of background investigation. The amazing part here is he has no work authorization. So when they enter this individual's information into their system in order to get paid, to pay taxes and the like, all sorts of red flags should have been prompted there. So I think it'll be interesting to see what they say, to see how this individual, did he use an alias? How did this come about? And I think it begged the further question of the amount of illegal aliens that are here in the United States working in everyday jobs and the like. And some of them, like this individual who has a possession charge, has other criminal acts on their record, and to be so close to school children, right? To be part of the education system there in Des Moines is really troubling.
I mean, Chad, I look at these pictures and I see kids and I think that could have been my kid. And this guy had a criminal charge. Do you think, and again, I know I'm asking you to speculate here, did they just not input his name into the system? How often does this happen? I mean, there are measures in place. I mean, it seems like it'd have to take a whole lot of looking the other way to not find this.
I think so. Look, the school system there, just like any other employer around the country, has an obligation to make sure that everyone that they're hiring is here in the United States legally, has the ability to work legally. So if they're not a U.S. citizen, then they have some type of work authorization provided by the federal government. In this case, the Department of Homeland Security. He didn't have any of this. And so the question is, did he provide a fraudulent Social Security number and was operating as someone else? And if not, I think there's a lot of questions that school system has to answer. And the question is, are there others there as well?
Yeah, you know, Secretary Wolf, that's a great question. And back to our top story of the day, because I want viewers to understand, you were at DHS, Department of Homeland Security. Underneath that is U.S. Secret Service, who found this vast network of servers. Matt McCool from Secret Service had this to say. He said it would be unwise to think that there's not networks like this all across the country. You were at DHS. Do you think there could be networks of servers beyond New York in cities like Chicago, LA, Miami, all across the country?
Yeah, there's no doubt. I agree with the agent there. I think this is a wake-up call, not only for everyday Americans, but just others involved in the fight here. And the good thing, which I heard the chairman say, is that we have agencies in the federal government, state and local partners, and others that are dealing with this each and every day. And we see types of incidents like this. We see probes. We see other things from nation state actors and others that get interdicted almost on a daily basis. Not all of them make the news. This is a significant one. This is concerning for a variety of different reasons. They can enable denial of service attacks and take down cell towers, as was mentioned here. So I think what this says is, because we have an open society, we need to rely more and more on our investigative powers that we provide to certain law enforcement intelligence agencies so that they can go about this and thwart this before it begins. But this should be a wake-up call. There are bad people that want to take down Americans and do Americans harm every single day. They reside outside of the United States, but they also reside here in the United States as well.
It's terrifying, but it's great to know that Secret Service was on it. Secretary Wolf, thank you.
Yeah.
Listen, he's right. You don't know what these people have in their background, what agenda they have to plan an attack in the United States. And he didn't come here just yesterday. He's been here. And so, I don't understand, what is the school board? What are they thinking? And I'm sorry, they knew this man did not have his papers. But dear 911, do you see how corrupt the education system is? Yeah. This is a prime example how we have a failed education system. It's bad enough kids aren't learning. They are indoctrinating children. The inadequate teachers. But you are literally putting an illegal, they're not even a green card immigrant, they don't have a work permit. You're putting an illegal in charge of children. That is a problem. Hey, Katalia, that is a problem. He's been here since 1999. And here's another question. How were you in this country for decades? And you don't have no documentation. Now, I know before Trump, before Biden, our immigration system has been horrible. But you mean to tell me that immigration couldn't process your papers to give you a green card or residency? So what was in your file? Apparently your criminal record, to where you was not granted even a residency since 1999? No. And then they are hiring you as superintendent?
Thank you, Madam President. I stand here this evening before you with immense gratification and certainly a sense of pride and humility. I am incredibly grateful for the vote of confidence that the board has shown. It was clear to me. Thank you, Madam President.
This says the Des Moines, I don't know how to pronounce that, Iowa Public School Superintendent, and just revealed criminal alien with a deportation order since 2024. He was arrested by ICE while attempting to flee agents with a loaded gun and knife. Bruh. Where were you going? So how do you pronounce this? I know it's not Ghana, but is it Guyana? It has to be Guyana, because I know that's South American. And he had a final deportation order in May of last year. He allegedly fled from the law. So you mean a school board was hiding and protecting an illegal?
This board delivered on all fronts, and as such, I am thrilled today to introduce to Des Moines Public Schools, the Des Moines community, and the state of Iowa Des Moines' 14th Superintendent, Dr. Ian Roberts. On behalf of my board colleagues, thank you all. I am pleased to welcome Dr. Ian Roberts to Des Moines and Des Moines Public Schools. Dr. Roberts.
Thank you, Madam President. I stand here this evening before you with immense gratification and certainly a sense of pride and humility. I am incredibly grateful for the vote of confidence that the board has shown.
That's crazy. And if you see, it's nothing but women behind him. He probably was sleeping with him. He was digging down somebody to stay protected, to go under the radar, to get a job, to get promoted throughout the board of education. He was dicking somebody down. He was good and heavy and long and slow. Somebody was getting dicked down, one of them little old women or older women who's probably married or in need of a man, probably not that good looking. And he was tearing that ass up. And she said, baby, I'm going to protect you. I'm going to protect you. And I'm going to tell you what to do, what to say, you know, where to work at. Yeah. Yeah. He was dicking down the right person. And let me this is a little sidebar. Men are better side chicks, mistresses, hoes, prostitutes, all that than women. A good hoe, woman hoe, or mistress, a side chick, or whatever, a good one learned from a man. Because men, they're better at that. They have patience. They will keep their mouth shut, even when they can't stand it, because they know the end result is the big reward. They know how to play their position to a T. Because he was definitely dicking somebody down. Because ain't no way in hell you become president of a school board. Well, no, that was the president, but you become superintendent. And you don't have a green card, workers permit, residency. You're not a citizen. You have a criminal record, and you've been here since the 90s. Oh no, his ass. He's already on Alligator Island in Florida. He's already there. That's crazy. Okay, I got to get to her. So. Speaking of tether, I came across this and I kept saying to myself, this girl remind me of somebody, and I couldn't put my finger on it. But see, when you go on X and you watch these videos, I always click the comments to read the comments. Oh, honey, because the comment section, they pull up a person's history. Hold on. Somebody said, explain why you single. Who said I was single? Who said I was single? I never talk about my personal life, honey. But who said I was single? See, mind your business. Mind your business. So anyway, let's get back to another tether who is trying to cape for FBA. Now, before I reveal who she is, because you guys probably know already, I didn't know right away. I want to play this clip.
Talk about why Somalis say, oh no.
Okay, so basically she is Somalian, and she's explaining why Somalians say they aren't black.
Talk about why Somalis say, oh no, we're not black. As a Somali who does claim her blackness, I want to explain this with love. Because that statement comes from history, survival, and sometimes pain. First, Somalia isn't a part of the Western world. In Somalia, a deeply homogenous community, there's no reason to say you're black. Everyone looks like you. For example, like Nigeria, people identify by tribe or nation, not race. Race as a qualifier especially, only becomes relevant to most Africans when they leave their country and step into a world that sees them through that lens. During colonization, Europeans didn't just divide our land, they divided our identities. Somalis were mistakenly told, "Ooh, you look different, you're closer to Arab, you're better." Those lies that were told by whiteness seeded the anti-blackness that still lingers today. And because Somalia was not colonized in the exact same way as other African countries, many Somalis grew up thinking that blackness was synonymous with oppression, something to escape, not embrace. But Western propaganda is global, honey. So in the same way that they show African Americans or all Americans in general that Africans are barbaric and starving, they show African Americans to the rest of the world as lazy thugs who are not to be trusted, violent. Many Somalis arrive here as refugees and want to rebuild their lives and think, if I distance myself from this label, maybe I'll be safe. There's still no excuse. My own mother, who struggles with anti-blackness and hates my dark skin, would always tell me, don't be a yo-yo, don't be a yo-yo. It's pure ignorance, but it stems from fear and lies. Here's the truth. African Americans are the moral backbone of this country. Every right, every protection, every piece of good experience that you are having in America was built through their blood, sweat, and tears. Their resistance, their strategic organizing, their sacrifice, it's the only reason why we have a foothold here today. And as much as Somalis want to say, "Oh, why do you care about black issues?" It's because I'm in gratitude and they deserve reverence and solidarity, not distance and disdain. So if you hear a Somali say, "I'm not black," "I'm not black," "I'm not black," so embarrassing. Don't get offended. Pray for them. They're wrestling with a lie that's literally older than them. A lie that was designed to keep us divided. And remember, no matter how lost we are or how far we run, we're still all one. Excuse me, thank you.
OJ like.
We're not playing that, honey. So, yes, she is the brick lady. First of all, her shirt was dirty. She has a stain on it. Let me see if I could go to that. Yeah, she has a stain on her shirt here. I'm like, girl, why you have on a dirty tank top? She look a hot mess. She does. All that makeup. See, y'all young girls, y'all need to get it together. Y'all put too much makeup on. Y'all actually turn the camera on thinking you're cute and you have on a dirty shirt, a whole bunch of makeup. Your hair looks whack. At least fluff out the curls. Take a little bit of the makeup off. Throw on some lip gloss or lipstick. Keep it simple but sexy. Oh my God. But anyway, yes, honey, I said, who is she? So I went to the comment section and she's the brick lady that was laying on black men, on FBA black men. Yes, her. And I'm like, okay, I know it's popular to be pro FBA. It is. You know, maybe she wants to go viral again. She wants to trend. I'm giving her attention. I'm talking about her. But now she is pro FBA. She wants to explain why Somalians don't want to be called black. Yes, Savannah, that is the brick doll. I mean, the brick girl. Savannah doll is your name. Yes. So I guess it's you know, it's popping and it's popular to be pro FBA. We don't care why Somalians don't want to consider themselves black. We don't care. Matter of fact, Trump is about to deport Ilhan Omar because I think she is an undercover terrorist. I wouldn't be surprised. That's just my opinion. I'm not saying she is, but I think she's an agent. So Somalians, listen, y'all stay in Minnesota because they have, Minnesota on lock. But we don't care. We don't even want to know why we don't need to know the history, because we know all of the continent of Africa has been colonized. Technically, except for Ethiopia, but mentally Ethiopians are colonized too. We already know y'all colonized. We don't care about the backstory. We don't. First of all, leave our Black men alone and stop lying on them. It's bad enough Black men here in America had to deal with white women for centuries lying on them. We don't need tethers coming over here lying on FBA men. So, girl, we don't care that you want to rep for FBA. You don't got to explain to them that it was our blood, sweat, and tears of our ancestors which allowed them to come over here to get a foothold of freedom and economic prosperity. It's too late for that, because the moment you start accusing men,
face, because I would have given him my number. And all y'all just watch. Y'all see that shit? Yo, this man just hit me in my face with.
Yeah, see, no. Oh, honey, I got a couple of trolls in here. Y'all mad. Oh, I wonder, are y'all tethers? Firewood? Craisland? Are y'all tethers? I think y'all tethers. So this is a prime example of a tether. She is a tether who's trying to repent. She's trying to repent. Now, I want to go to Serena. First of all, I love Serena Williams. I do. I support her. I always champion her. I wish she didn't retire when she did. She is the greatest of all time. She is the greatest of all time tennis player. She is one of the greatest athletes of all time. I do love Serena Williams. I do. I don't like all this surgery, the blonde hair, but honey, she retired, she married, she got her kids. She could do what she want to do with her life and her millions. But there is a thing of Black privilege. There is a such thing as Black privilege. And Serena kind of displayed it in this video.
All right, everyone, how do we feel about cotton as decoration? Personally, for me, it doesn't feel great. So actually, it feels like no polish remover cotton, natural. All right, everyone, how do we feel about cotton as decoration? Personally, for me, it doesn't feel great. So actually, it feels like no polish remover cotton, natural.
So Serena she said it doesn't feel great to see a cotton plant. And I thought that was somewhat of a stretch. Yes, now listen, Black people stopped picking cotton 2 centuries ago. However, maybe 1 century ago, but decades ago. However, there are such things as cotton plants, which this is a very nice decor in that luxury 5-star hotel she's staying in. So I don't know if she's saying that she doesn't feel right about it because it's cotton and, her ancestors picked cotton such as mine, or she literally don't like the feel of the texture because she picked it and rubbed her hands on it to feel it. And I don't know if that was a real cotton plant or not, but honey, you picking a plant, in a hotel that doesn't belong to you. But this is Black privilege. And I'm going to have Megyn Kelly explain why she is showing us, displaying her Black privilege.
Serena Williams is in the news. Why? Because she was in New York to support her friend Kim Kardashian with some things she's doing with Nike. And Serena Williams was in town to attend to it. And she's in some hotel. We do not know which hotel she was staying in. She did not publicize that. But Serena Williams, who is one of the richest Americans alive, was triggered by something, Maureen, and I'm going to show you what it was.
All right, everyone, how do we feel about cotton as decoration? Personally, for me, it doesn't feel great. So actually, it feels like nail polish remover cotton, natural.
Okay. So at the end of that video, she's plucked one of the cotton balls off of the plant, and she's using it to buff her nails. And then she does the hand gesture of ew, where you shake your hands ew, gross, and she drops it. Now, Serena Williams is triggered by cotton, I guess, because it used to be picked by slaves, and she's a Black American. It's 2025. Serena Williams is estimated by Forbes to be worth $350 million. She's married to a very, very rich man, too. She hung up her racket in 2022, ending a career in which she earned $95 million in prize money, more prize money than any female athlete in history. She has endorsement deals to this day with more than a dozen brands. She's active as an investor in her own venture capital firm. She's got a licensing deal with a beauty line. She's launched a multimedia company. She owns part of the Miami Dolphins. But she is an oppressed, direct descendant of slaves, I guess. And that's how she sees herself to this day because, I guess, generational trauma, as the kids call it. She can't walk by a cotton plant in a luxury hotel to go promote Kim Kardashian's Skims line without feeling trauma that she has to videotape and post on Insta.
Yeah, I think Serena, she shouldn't have posted that. She shouldn't have posted that on Instagram. She should have kept that to herself. Serena should have kept that to herself. Because, girl, you do have a clothing line that is made out of cotton. Nobody picks cotton anymore. And if people are picking cotton, they're not American citizens. The people that are making your clothing line in China or Malaysia or Taiwan or wherever, Indonesia, they're the ones who you should be feeling traumatized for. So I get the sentiment of, oh my God, you're displaying a cotton plant as decoration, but the symbolism behind cotton, whereas, yes, enslaved Black Americans picked cotton. Cotton was king. Cotton was the driving force of the Southern economy, really all of the 13 colonies. Right. And even after the Civil War, sharecroppers, Black sharecroppers were picking cotton for little to nothing. And then before that, the slaves were picking cotton for free, where you had small babies out there picking cotton. It was horrible in the sun. I never experienced, but I'm assuming it was horrible. But she never experienced that. And that is what I'm talking about, the Black privilege. We have the privilege of honoring our ancestors who did, but they did that and a whole bunch of other stuff so that we don't have to. However, the whole concept of cotton now is not the same as when slaves and sharecroppers were picking cotton. Cotton is not the driving force of our economy anymore. There are no more sharecroppers in the cotton fields. Cotton is now considered a pretty plant. It is considered decoration. And the people who are making the clothes where it says this is 100% cotton, they're in sweatshops, probably somewhere in LA or whatever, or in some third world country, creating the very clothes that she's wearing on her back. All of us. So we are all a part of this whole imperial and imperial oppression. We all contribute to it, because the people that make our cotton panties, our cotton socks and underwear or t-shirts, they're doing it in a sweatshop in a third world country. But I always wondered how cotton grows. And I thought this was a pretty cool video to give us a little history of cotton.
Do you know about cotton? This here is a cotton flower bud. When it blooms, it starts out this yellow-green color. Gradually, it shifts to pink, then transforms into this red shade. As time goes on, the color deepens more and more until it turns brown and eventually drops off. After the flower falls away, it becomes this small cotton ball. Over time, this bowl continues to grow bigger. Finally, the cotton boll splits open. This is what it looks like in the end. Those white fluffy parts that we humans need are cotton fibers that surround the seeds. All those little dark pieces inside are individual seeds.
It actually looks pretty. But I could say that now. It wasn't pretty when my ancestors were picking it, but somebody in the world is picking it. And we're wearing it. We are wearing clothes that are being made by people who are being oppressed. So we are all guilty, Serena. We're all guilty of that. Yeah. So I just wanted to share that. Now, I'll get to her in a minute. Wait a minute. Something else. I want to go back to the migrant crises. So it says here, this is what happens. This is what happened prior to the infamous scuffle between an ICE agent and an illegal wife in New York City. Oh, so where was the original thing at? I thought I had it in here. Wait a minute. Oh, where's that clip at? I thought I saved it. Oh, yeah, it was there. Where's the other one? Oh, here we go. Yeah. So this woman, it says the left is mad. This ICE agent shoved her when she refused to let go of her illegal husband who was being arrested outside immigration court in New York. These foreign invaders of the United States of America stop interfering with ICE. So listen, y'all need to leave ICE alone.
Adiós, adiós. 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 Come on, man.
Listen, why are y'all pleading with the ICE officers? Your husband is illegal and he got caught. So you thought if you cry speaking in Spanish, and I'm pretty sure he don't want to understand what she's saying, you cannot bum rush, you cannot touch, you cannot harass, you cannot physically try to harm a law enforcement officer. And yeah, I'm like, are they performing? So this is the video with her husband. Prior to that, where is it?
Suerte, suerte, señora. Suelta a la niña, 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 suelta a la niña. No estoy haciendo nada. No estoy haciendo nada. No estoy haciendo nada. No estoy haciendo nada.
I'm sorry, but if you are in this country illegal and the authorities the ICE agent is asking the woman to let go of the little girl. But I don't understand. First of all, why do you have your children there? Why do you have your children there? What type of mother or father are you to have your kids see that? As if that's going to make a difference to where, okay, we're not going to deport you in front of your kids. We'll come back and get you later, or we're not going to deport you at all. Like, why would you traumatize your children like that? No, sin prime. That is not true. All humans are afforded due process under the no, that's not what the Constitution says. That is not, it doesn't say all humans. They broke the law. They are criminals. They knew Trump was coming into office. They knew he was going to let ICE do their job. They knew he was coming down on illegals hard because the prior administration allowed these illegals to come in, over 20 million, without any due process. Just finding a school teacher, no, a superintendent who's been here as an illegal for decades, for a century. Well, since last century. Been here for over 20 years. Around kids with a criminal record, no papers. Where was that due process? All these illegals that the Biden-Harris administration allowed to cross that border and fly in illegally, they didn't get due process. They broke the law. And me and millions others voted for Trump to get into office and deport them all. So you need to send that comment to former President Joe Biden and former Vice President Kamala Harris. Because where was the due process when they just opened up the doors and said, come on in? Let me give you free food, free housing, free healthcare, free education, jobs, work permits, Section 8, all that, food stamps, credit cards, cell phones. Where was the due process for that? Where was the due process for American citizens whose taxpayers were paying billions of dollars to take care of illegals? But you want to have your 2 children there to witness this. No, shame on you as parents. Because listen, this is war. This is war. We're at war with foreign countries. We're at war within our country. And it's not pretty. It is what it is. You chose to come here the wrong way. And now it's time to get you up out of here the right way. And the reason why a lot of Black people do not have sympathy, and the reason why a lot of Black people voted for Donald Trump, is because the Congressional Black Caucus, the Democrats, you crazy liberals, racist liberals, didn't give a damn about Black Americans. All the public policies and all the millions and billions of dollars that you gave illegals, but then you lied in the face of Black Americans saying y'all can't have no reparations because there's no money. Where the money gonna come from? We can't give you better schools. We can't give you extra curriculum activities for your school district. We can't give all single mothers, all Americans, more food stamps, better housing, but you could do it for the illegals. See, that's why Black people voted for Trump, because the Democrats chose illegals over them. And the reason why a majority of all of Americans voted for Trump is because the Biden administration chose illegals over its citizens. So y'all can get in y'all feelings all you want, honey. Nobody cares. Now, I want to play this and one more video before I get up out of here. Guys, did I ask you guys to hit the like button? Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. Can you guys please hit the like button? Even you haters, please hit the like button. This is Secretary of Transportation talking about all of the paper, all of the perks, the CDLs, driver's license that Newsom handed out to illegals.
We have launched a nationwide audit of non-domiciled CDLs to get to the bottom of what we think is causing this crisis. We've heard from truckers and safety advocates and news reports that something was seriously wrong. It was alleged that the open border policies of the last administration has led to an exploitation of our nation's trucking licensing system. So today, I'm here to tell you after our audit that those reports, they're all true. What our audit has already discovered should anger every single American. So here's what we've learned. We just want to walk through it. First, our audit revealed a systemic breakdown among states to follow the law and issue licenses properly. States are failing to follow even the most basic procedures. We even uncovered widespread procedural errors, computer programming flaws, and a gross lack of oversight in the states that issue CDLs. This means that thousands of licenses that should never have been issued actually were issued. States are issuing licenses that extend months and even years beyond a driver's lawful presence in the U.S. This is a direct incentive to stay in our country illegally beyond their authorized work permit. They have driver's licenses. So in some disturbing cases, they have failed to validate a driver's lawful presence before handing them a commercial license. It's deeply disturbing, but even worse. Our second finding was that the current federal regulations are allowing dangerous, unqualified drivers on American roadways. This means that even when the rules are being followed, dangerous individuals who shouldn't be near a big rig are getting behind the wheel and causing crashes on our roadways. Eligibility requirements are deeply flawed and they're way too broad. They are simply not strong enough to prevent more of these horrific crashes from occurring in America. The system, it's failed, and it's a national emergency. So the combination of a catastrophic failure of states to follow the law and a broken system has created an imminent hazard to American travelers. That is why today I'm announcing two immediate major actions. Number one, we're issuing an emergency rule that fundamentally overhauls who is eligible for a non-domiciled CDL. These tighter federal standards, they're going to keep Americans and families safe on our roadways. Now, this is not a proposal. This is a final rule. And it is effective immediately. Jesse's going to go through those details in just a little bit, but here's the bottom line. Non-citizens will not be eligible for a CDL unless they meet a much stricter set of rules. Second, all states must immediately pause the issuance of non-domiciled CDLs until they can comply with our new rules. My message, it's very simple. Get into compliance now, or we'll pull funding and we'll force you into compliance. Nowhere in the country have we found a more egregious licensing situation than in the state of California. That's why the second action we're announcing today is an additional enforcement action against California. So for 2 weeks, FMCSA investigators were on site in California actually looking at their records. So we took a random sample. Investigators found that more than 1 in 4 non-domiciled CDLs were issued in direct violation of federal safety standards. So let's just put that another way. Over 25% of these licenses, they were issued illegally.
Yeah. Point blank, period. Why? Why were they breaking the law and giving out illegal licenses and CDLs? So let me get to some of you trolls, honey. Y'all mad. I don't care. I don't care. Y'all big mad. When are you going to wake up? Trump is a racist. And I don't care. First of all, I don't trust no politician. They work for me. I don't work for them. And see, that's where people like you get it wrong. I don't care. When you go to work on Monday, do you know who's a racist and who's not? But you still get your ass up and go to work. So I don't care. Do I think he a racist? I don't think so, but I don't personally know him. I never met him, but I don't care. Is he doing his job? Yes. Is he doing what I voted for him to do? Yes, and that's all that matters. Kamala's a racist. Joe Biden is a racist. But you still voted for them. So I don't care. Miss me with he's a racist. You need to wait. No, I'm woke. You're the one that's asleep. Sharpton and other so-called preachers are nothing but race baiters, and Al should be in jail for tax evasion. Yes. Yes. I don't think you understand that we are not slaves. We are not subjects in America. We own America. Our public servants are our employees. Public servants they do work for us, but we do not own America. We don't. But public servants do work for us. None of this will ever be happening if not for the Biden administration. If we hadn't opened the border for the entire world, all the illegals here for 30 years would still be here safe and sound. Yes. Blame Harris, because she was Kamala Harris. She was the border czar. Girl, bye with that BS. You're telling a bold-faced lie. Trump is destroying Black history as we speak. A lot of Blacks do not vote for Trump. First of all, 20% did, bitch. And that's a lot, considering that 99% of Black Americans always voted Democrats. Now, how is he going to destroy something that you should already know and be teaching your kids? See, nobody can't destroy anything that I already have knowledge of. He's not prohibiting you going to the libraries. He's not prohibiting you for teaching your children, your community about Black history. So go have several seats because you are very emotional. Get out your feelings. If you are allowing a man, white man, blue man, red man, it doesn't matter. If you are allowing a human being to prohibit you of your history, then you're the problem. Why would you allow it? But he's not prohibiting that. He's not destroying Black history. You don't know what you're talking about. So, girl, hello. You're disgusting. Let me say this. You're disgusting. And not just that, but you're so wrong. You are drinking a Kool-Aid, lady. You need to really read more into the history between Mexico and the U.S. I know enough history to know that y'all lost the war. You lost the war. Which is why California, Texas, New Mexico, all that border is ours. Because you lost. And that's all the history that I need to know. Build that wall. All right, one more last thing, guys. And I want you to check my video out at 9 p.m. tonight. I found this to be so adorable and cute. Actually, unable to scan me there. Let me pull this up like this. This was so cute, and I want to end on a happy note. You are ignorant of geopolitics, and you're mad. You're mad that your girl did not win the election. You're mad that somebody in your family is got deported or about to be deported. You're mad. And if you are watching and you're not here in America, you're mad because you're not even American. This is cute. Love the kids. I thought that was so adorable that I had to share that. And you know why? Because I never liked that line dance thing. I was never into that until I saw this video. I said, I love it. I want to learn it. And I guess that's like a southern southwest Texas type of line dance. She got her little cowgirl boots on. It's so adorable. Honey, very confident, very appropriate for her age. And I love it. She wasn't twerking. She wasn't dancing to no Cardi B or none of that. No, she was so adorable. It had rhythm on beat. Thank you, Hella Mel. Thank you, Dana, for the fun and informative Saturday night. Yes. So, yeah. I love the kids, honey. Yes. Thank you guys for tuning in. I want you guys to go to my video that is premiering in 10 minutes and check it out. Like, subscribe to the YouTube channel, hit the bell button, get all notifications, like this video, like my premiere video that's coming up after this. And I will see you. JT, honey, stop. And I will see you guys. Bitch, don't play with me. Add to block list, put user. No, I'm blocking you. Don't play with me. Don't play with me. Don't. And you probably a dirty ass illegal tether. All right, guys, check out my video and I will see you in the next video. Bye.